an update from ICMDA. There we are, a Christian witness through doctors and dentists in every community and in every nation. That is the Great Commission and Christ's call to us, in which we're playing a part. We're all very familiar with our vision and our mission to start and strengthen national movements of Christian doctors and dentists through calling, equipping, fellowship, and service. And this is what the world map looks like now. The green countries are member countries. The orange countries have contact groups, which are moving towards full affiliation, we hope, at the World Congress in 2022. And then in the blue countries, we have individual contacts, but not groups yet. And there's some grey countries where there is no contact yet at all. So this is where we are, 84 groups. We hope to get to 100 by Tanzania in 2022. So this is the ICMDA family of 84 national member movements. We estimate about 57,000 doctors and dentists, 28 contact groups, and of course, 3 staff, and most importantly, 45 field workers, all of you who are working in medicine or dentistry and serving the fellowship. Now, there's been a change in region since we last met in May, and ICMDA previously consisted of 12 regions, which you can see here, and the changes have taken place in sub-Saharan Africa and in the Eurasia region. And let me just show you how they look now. So you'll see that the Eurasia region has been split into 2. In the west, we have Europe, and that's where I'm the acting regional secretary. And then in the east, we have Eurasia. So it's retaining that name of Eurasia, but it's much smaller than it was in terms of the number of countries. And we've added into Eurasia 3 countries that were previously in the METNA region, and that's Turkey, Iran, and Afghanistan. And the METNA region has been renamed MENA because it's Middle East, North Africa now, but without Turkey. And then the other big change that's taken place is creation of this new brown region here called francophone sub-Saharan Africa, where Jean-Paul is the new regional secretary. And this region has taken countries from both West Africa and also East Africa. So that West Africa now looks very small, but remember that Nigeria has 1 in every 5 Africans is Nigerian. So it's still a very big region in terms of population. So we've gone from 12 to 14 regions. And then, of course, there was COVID. And this is what I primarily want to talk about, is how COVID has changed our ministry going forward. And of course, we have to remind ourselves first that God is absolutely sovereign over the rise and fall of governments, the decisions of political leaders, which are so influential, over infectious diseases, over the development of vaccines and medical treatments, and of course our lives and death. He's sovereign over absolutely everything, and he is in control, and he planned this, and he's going to use this for our glory, both in the sunrise and the sunset times. And COVID, of course, has not changed. It's changed many things in our lives, but it hasn't changed any of these things. Our need for the gospel, the Great Commission, the certain growth of God's kingdom, which will be completed, the call to preach and to heal, the return of Jesus, the certainty of judgment, the new heaven and the new earth. All these things are the same because Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. This article by Andy Crouch, which is well worth reading, talks about the question of, is COVID a storm, a blizzard that's going to be over in a few weeks? Is it a winter that's going to be over in a few months? Or is it more like a mini ice age that could take many months or perhaps even years to be over? And I think it's very, very clear now that COVID is a mini ice age, or at least, at very least, a very long winter. And so we need to adjust to this in our lives and ministries. And there are things that are going to be much more difficult, at least for the foreseeable future. Crossing borders, obtaining visas, air travel is going to be less frequent and probably more expensive. It's going to be hard to get into lower and middle income countries, especially for pastors and evangelists. And large residential conferences and meetings are going to be much more difficult, and short-term trips will be difficult. And also because the Western Church has been hit quite hard, it's going to be harder to raise funds for healthcare mission in the West. It's going to be harder to support expatriate missionaries in lower and middle income countries. So these things are going to be more difficult, and that will be changing the face of mission as well. And it will, these past approaches that have worked reasonably well are not going to work as well in the time of COVID, although there'll still be a place for them. So Westerners doing short-term trips is not going to happen as much. International mission societies doing healthcare work is not going to happen. Church and mission hospitals relying on expatriates is not going to happen. Overtrained health professionals running frontline community health is not going to happen. Full-time Western workers supported by home churches, sending drugs and equipment for the West. All of these things are going to be affected. And so we need to be looking at new patterns of healthcare mission, and COVID is going to speed these things up and already is. So we're going from a colonial West to the rest model to a from everywhere to everywhere model. Of course, this has already happened, but it's going to speed this up. From curative hospital-centered medicine to preventive community-centered medicine, from paternalism to partnership between all the countries of the world, from full-time church planters, pastors, and evangelists to tent makers like you who are working to support themselves as they do their mission work, from university-trained professionals to lay workers, from pioneering in new areas to working within secular systems. So those are some of the changes that are going to impact the work of ICMDA. And just in closing, I wanted to speak about 3 online initiatives, many of which you'll know about already, but I can show you a little bit more. So first of all, online learning resources. And we have just developed, with Josh's help, a new learning platform. This is it. It was launched just yesterday, and it contains a huge number of training resources, videos. We moved it from the old site in India, and we think this new site is going to be much more easy to edit and access. And you can see the sort of things that are already available on it. And at every page, you will come to a set of videos like this. And once you've created a login for yourself or for anyone else who's done that can access all this material absolutely free. Now, I just want to show you online how to find this. If you go to the website, you go to the Learn tag, you click onto training courses and click on the training site there, and you can access the courses through this drop down or by clicking on these. So if we go, for example, into bioethics, you can see a series of videos by Dr. John Wyatt, 14 videos altogether. Now, if you want to watch these, then you just simply, it's not going to let me do it because I think I need to create a new login. But if you click on the video, it will then come up and you can watch it, but you can also choose the subtitles in 6 different languages, which include French, Portuguese, Spanish, Russian, Mandarin Chinese, and Arabic. They're available for almost all of the videos that we have there. So back to our presentation again. Do make the best use of that. Of course, you know, we've been running webinars, 26 now we've done, and all of these are recorded and available on the YouTube channel of ICMDA. We now have a lot of literature resources available in several different languages on the website, and Janet Goodall's book, which we will hear more about later, is available in French. There are lots of resources on COVID. There is now a YouTube channel, and by clicking the playlist tag, you can bring up different series of videos along with different conferences in the past. And if you have videos from your own conferences, we can put them up on the YouTube channel. Of course, the blog, which is now available in a series of different languages, one new blog post every week. The prayer guide, which you all get and goes out on WhatsApp, Twitter, and Facebook. The newsletter, I put out one every month on wider news. So that's the online resources. Secondly, the postgraduate diploma in the International Postgraduate Diploma in Family Medicine, which started in May this year, and we have 30 students from 15 different countries on this at the moment. They're all doing very well on this course, and the next intake will be in May next year. And so we'll write to you about this to advertise it to people when they can enroll from January 2021. And we hope that we'll be able to expand this course and that many others will be able to do this 2-year online diploma in family medicine, which includes training in one of these 6 centers for 1 week per year. But otherwise, you can do it from your own hospital alongside a full-time job through the distance learning methods. And then finally, excuse me, there is the COVID preparedness training course, which was developed by CMC Vellore in India, like the postgraduate diploma. And our aim is to distribute it in Africa and Asia outside India. And we've been given 200 free training places for this. So anyone working in a hospital can do this course, which can be done over 2 weeks. It involves 2 3-hour online sessions, 20 hours of online modules that you do in your own time, and also an examination leading to a certification as a trainer when you can train others. And every 2 weeks on a Thursday, a new cycle of trainees starts. There's information about it on the website, and also anyone wanting to do the course fills in this survey, which takes about 10 minutes or so, which gives us information about your hospital. So there are 3 new initiatives: the online resources, including particularly the new training platform, the International Postgraduate Diploma in Family Medicine, and the COVID preparedness training course.